This is TWiT.
I'm going to give you a chance. China, think of all the things China has been able to do. They've been able to shut down and curtail this, the ultra growth in some of their more consumer-focused technologies. They get kids to only video game 3 hours a week on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and holidays. Now they have said all cryptocurrency-related activities are illegal. Gee, wouldn't it be nice if we had a totalitarian government and we could just come on in and say, Facebook, this is going to be fixed?
It would stop the Winklevoss twins, I'll tell you that.
we talk about, and obviously I'm a little bit tongue in cheek, so you don't have to come down too hard on it. But it is interesting that they're doing a lot of the things that people say here in the United States. Gee, we should.
Well, exactly. Beware. We can see where it goes. It goes toward China. I've been screaming that for years. So you're right. Some would like that level of authoritarianism, but that ain't my country.
Yeah. I think Jen, you probably follow this fairly closely, given your interest in Asia. The question that I've heard a lot of people say is this because the Chinese have decided, the CCP has decided to focus more on infrastructure technology and infrastructure and less on consumer technology?
I don't know. I think there's a case that a couple of things are going on, including the regime's incredible zeal to be a dictatorship and to clamp down and control everything.
A free and vibrant consumer technology sector is not helpful to that.
Yeah, what's been amazing to see. I'm sorry, did I step on you and finish up?
Well, there was just one other thing on the clampdown on cryptocurrencies. I'm not sure that there's, let me reverse. I think there's probably another motive there in addition to just general control freakery, and related to that, because the economy, and in particular real estate, is grossly overheated in China, and they're in a major bubble on property values and have totally overbuilt and have had companies that are wildly over leveraged, owing hundreds of billions. And it may be that in banning cryptocurrencies, they're trying to control or at least slow down the flight of capital that tends to happen from countries that are perhaps heading toward economic, really serious trouble. And of course, the whole world would be caught in that if it does happen. But that seemed pretty plausible to me. And I don't remember where I read that, but that struck a chord as maybe that is part of the motivation to just prevent too much money from fleeing the country.
But isn't it more cultural than that too? Isn't it a matter of control? And if the regime could stay popular by everybody getting more money and growing and having bigger homes and buying more stuff, fine for how long that lasted. But then when trouble comes, they have to put the hammer down, and we're almost headed to an economic cultural revolution. Is that going overboard?
No, that makes sense, and I think these are intertwined. It just, if we're looking for some specific thing, because I thought this cryptocurrency ban was very sudden, and I had not. There were some things that happened that were perhaps in retrospect leading up to it, but this is a surprise to me. And when we look in our own country and other countries about cryptocurrencies, man, I think people who are speculating in those areas, who are not the insiders, who are already profited and will stand to profit even more, be careful.
Yep.
Yeah, I think there's a couple things going on there. These are great points about these real estate companies that people say this could be another subprime that affects the rest of the world. But in the last year, I've been really surprised to see how hard China is coming down against the entrepreneurs like Jack Ma, who were once celebrated as successes of the whole Chinese system. So it's almost reminiscent of what Putin did to slam down the oligarchs in Russia. And so maybe that's not the greatest way to build a global internet business, to take your most gloried entrepreneurs and founders and charge them with crimes or remove them. I think certainly it shows that the control in China shows it just can't be trusted as a global brand. And you see, obviously, we don't trust Huawei, and TikTok was sort of teetering in the Trump era, but now it's still the most popular download among social network apps.
More engagement than YouTube, longer viewing times.
Yeah. So but I would say that stands as an anomaly before the curtains come down on big private internet in China.
Well, they were the only company. I mean, all these companies that are so popular and so universal and necessary in China that didn't break the border. I mean, isn't TikTok the only company that really did?
Yeah.
And it only did so by acquisition.
Well, no. Some people said that was going to be the dawn of this new era, but then you see what happened with Alibaba, and Didi now is under great pressure, and China's clamped down on them. The huge success, the company that beat Uber, right? And it's not just in China, but they're the main presence in ride sharing in some other countries. So it's really interesting to see how what looked like China's participation in a global internet by nurturing these companies has done a 180.
China was even cracking down on WeChat. You were talking about these Chinese-only companies that are completely dominant in China. I don't know what the status is today, but last July, WeChat had to stop signing people up.
Yeah. There's another aspect to the clampdown on the social media type companies, is that the China regime is basically saying, corporations, you may not spy on everybody. We will.
That's our job.
The government. It's our job.
Right.
And you'll help us. But when it comes to who really is in control, it's us. And don't forget that.
I wonder if that's a subtext of the American government crackdown.
Yep. I think so.
Yeah. I do have one thing to say about this rule that the kids can only play video games for like 3 hours a week. If these kids have not managed to figure out how to hack their way past that, then China really is dead.
Maybe they're trying to create a hacker class. That's probably one good way to do it. Teach kids how to get around the government crackdown. That's got to hurt. 3 hours a week. Wow.